Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Stache Sports. Hope you all had a good weekend, a good Father's Day for those that celebrated Father's Day, and had a good weekend and a good Monday for the other Staches. And hope you Staches are liking these episodes still and leaving comments. It really helps me know what to do and what to talk about. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We have NBA draft. I don't know about watching NBA draft. I may get more interested in the NFL draft. I'll probably watch wrestling tonight or something else. And maybe keep my eye on the NBA draft. I might watch the World Cup because that's going on right now too. Can't believe that England tied it gone, but we'll get into that later. We also have a big NBA trade between the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks. It's going to be interesting to see if we have more trades tonight, since like I said, the NBA drafts tonight, and more teams try to move up or move down in the NBA draft. I mean, some people have said this is one of the best NBA drafts in quite a while, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see, but like I said last night, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat traded away Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, to Miami. Miami gave up a lot, in my personal opinion. And I know the Boston Celtics were in on it, but Jaylen Brown was one of my favorite key pieces of the Boston Celtics and really helped the Boston Celtics and carried the Boston Celtics last year. So I don't know if I really want to get rid of Jaylen Brown for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, I know the Greek freak might be better than Jaylen Brown, and I might help the Celtics, but you need a team around him, and Miami kind of gave up a lot of players around him, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens to that. Since I'm talking about that, we'll get into that right now. And the other thing about concerns me about Giannis Antetokounmpo is he's getting older, and he's also getting hurt a lot too. So that's something you don't want when you're going to pay him a big contract if he gets hurt a lot and he's older. I mean, I get it. He might not get hurt a lot. He might be able to stay healthy, and it might be dangerous. But really, I don't know how much this impacted the Miami Heat and how much it really changed the Miami Heat culture. I mean, I know the coach and the Miami Heat are looking pretty good sometimes, but they gave up a lot. Here's your trade. The Bucks are trading Giannis. Oh, what the hell? The Bucks are trading Giannis Antetokounmpo, excuse my language, for Hall and picks, players and picks. The Milwaukee Bucks are trading Gronk, Antetokounmpo, and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat for Tyler Hero, Kiki Ware, Jamie Jacquest Jr. Jamie Jacquest Jr. is one of the better upcoming players in the Miami Heat, so that's surprising they got rid of him. Kasperius, Djokovic, and 3 first-round picks, including number 13 and Tuesday's NBA draft, 1 pick, swap, and the second-round pick. The Heat are sending Milwaukee unprotected first-rounders in 2031 and 2032, along with a number 13 pick, and a swap of 2030 and 2033 second round, according to the source. But trade does not include any additional teams. It's a 1-on-1 move, that's what you say. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, I know the Boston Celtics are looking at trading Jaylen Brown away. But they might still trade Jaylen Brown away. There's still rumors. But like I said in this podcast, rumors aren't going to go past this because this is only going to be reported. And yes, I know I might get some reports wrong because sometimes they report like, when Max Crosby got traded to Baltimore Ratbirds and he backed out, that was wrong, but that was a report. If it's a report, I'm going to report about it. If it's a rumor, I'm not going to talk about it because rumor has it this podcast is not a rumor-filled podcast. But we'll see what happens to the Greek freak. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with Bam Adebayo. But the East is really hard. If the New York Knicks, the Boston Celtics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and other teams. So this depends on what else they do this offseason. I know the offseason is still young, and we haven't had the NBA draft yet. And that's tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I know they don't have an NBA pick, so they gave up their pick, for being honest. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do to help build around. Because right now, I don't think they have a good bench. I mean, the starting 5 might be pretty good, but it's going to be interesting because I just read one report, but they might be able to keep one of their starting 5 because of salary cap restrictions. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to that. But like I said, I don't know how good Miami Heat's bench is after trading away a lot of their upcoming bench players. I mean, that's one thing you need too in basketball. You need a good bench. That's one or real good stars. I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, the Greek freak is still good, but he's also getting older. Jaylen Brown was 29 years old, and he's still in his prime, and he hasn't really been hurt a lot like Giannis Antetokounmpo has. Giannis Antetokounmpo is 31, so he's a couple years older, but Giannis Antetokounmpo has been dealt a couple injuries this year and hasn't been doing last year and wasn't that good. I mean, I know he won a championship 1 year in Milwaukee and had a decent year in Milwaukee, but we'll see. I don't know if he's an ultra player. I mean, they need a bench, like I said, but we'll see what happens in the Miami Heat. The Bucks are acquiring 4 players in their 20s, so that might be good. But I also read that they might not keep Tyler Hero, so it's going to be interesting to see. I'll keep your eyes up to date, other stashes up to date on all that. But Tyler Hero is one of the truck was at 25, and he finished second in the 6 man of the year last season. That's good to have a 6 man, so it's going to be interesting to see how Miami can replenish them and how they can do on their bench. Maybe they have people in their G League they can bring up. Because some of these players like Jacquez Jr. wasn't well known, and Miami made him well known, so maybe they can do that and make the trade a little better. But right now, I think I might have to give the edge to the Milwaukee Bucks, but we'll see. But congratulations to that. I mean, like I said, I don't know if I really want him in Boston. I mean, I know Boston might need to get a change, and we need to get a big center and a big man. But that's something the Boston Celtics have been missing last year, is a center and a big man. But I don't know if I really want to blow up Jason Brown or Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, because there's a pretty good duo. And I think that's what you need in the NBA, is to have a good duo and a pretty good setup. And Jaylen Brown and them are pretty good, but we'll see what happens. I hope the Boston Celtics keep Jaylen Brown, but we'll see. There's still rumors that they still might be actively trying to shop Jaylen Brown and other stuff. I hope this rumor is going to get him disgusted, and if he doesn't get shopped around or traded away, but he can have be a team player next year for the Boston Celtics and help the Boston Celtics raise banner number 19. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting time of the year, but we'll see what happens. The Washington Wizards have a number 1 pick tonight. The Jazz have a number 2 pick. Here's the draft. Tonight's just round 1. The Washington Wizards have 1. The Jazz have 2 right now. The Memphis Grizzlies have 3. The Bulls have 4. The Clippers have 5. The Brooklyn Nets have 6. I even know Brooklyn had a team still. That's kidding. The Kings have 7. The Hawks have 8. The Mavericks have 9. The Bucks have 10. The Warriors have 11. The Thunder have 11. The Bucks have 13. That doesn't know. Why does it still say the Heat? The Hornets have 14. The Bulls have 15. 16 is Memphis. Oklahoma City comes back in at 11. The Hornets have a lot of picks this year. Maybe the Hornets are trying to build up or something. The Hornets come back in at 18 up. And then there's the Raptors, the Spurs, the Pistons, the Sixers, the Hawks, the Knicks, the Lakers. The Celtics have 27, the Nuggets have 26, 28, 27, and the Mavericks finish out the draft tonight. Derrick Cubs Jr. from Arkansas is one of the top names, but I don't know if he'll be the top pick for this year's draft. We have other people too. One from Kansas that might be a top draft. Here's one of the mock drafts by one of the players. Let's see how right this is. We'll get into that tomorrow, but I didn't have time to do a mock draft. Cortez was the first pick in the 2028 NBA draft, or whatever, or 2026 NBA draft, whatever year it is. The Washington Wizards draft AJ Diabenestina from BYU. I mean, I remember him playing against the UCF, and he was a pretty good player, so that might be a good pick for the Washington Wizards. The Wizards have continued to talk things quiet as they move towards the final decision. Signs continue to point towards the Bastina to most likely choice, one of the best Mary's upside of a fit for Washington. With number 2 pick, the Utah Jazz select Daniel Peterson from Kansas. I mean, he was pretty good too. Kansas always had a pretty good basketball team, so that might be good for them. And number 3, Memphis Grizzlies select Cameron Boozer. Boozer was one of the good players for Duke. I mean, the Boozer brothers are really good for Duke, and that's pretty good. Duke always seems to put up good players like Jason Tatum, and other players. Duke always really seems to put up a good player. So Cameron Boozer to the Memphis Grizzlies, that might be pretty good. If Jason keeps John Morant up there, if he's still with the Memphis Grizzlies, that might be a pretty good duo. and have Memphis Grizzlies have a good team for quite a while. Boozer to me will be a good pick and a good player in the NBA draft. I think Boozer is going to be the next big star. Not much has changed for Boozer as he enters what should be a slightly forward draft night. So it says he has visited Memphis last week and previously visited Chicago and Utah, covering all the bases in Washington, Allville, and it's under consideration of Utah. Whatever, I'm not going to read all that. And the Chicago Bulls select Caleb Wilson from North Carolina, according to this draft. He's a freshman. I mean, Wilson took his only pre-draft visit to Chicago, so that's not good. Hopefully he gets drafted by Chicago. The LA Clippers select Keaton Wagner from Illinois. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see how right this is, because sometimes they don't get the NFL draft right, but we'll see how right this is tomorrow when I go over the first round. The Brooklyn Jets, and that's like Michael Brown Jr. from Louisville. That might be good. Sacramento selects Darius Acuff Jr. Darius Acuff Jr. is one of the upcoming stars for Kyle Perry's Arkansas Razorbacks this year. I mean, Acuff was one of the shooting stars and one of the great stars in March Madness this year and really made a name for himself in the March Madness tournament this year. So that might be good for the Sacramento Kings, even though nobody goes to their games. Atlanta Hawks select Kingston Flemings from Houston. The Hawks pick another major swing spot with Atlanta, said, whatever. Number 9, the Dallas Mavericks select Nate Ament from Tennessee. He might be pretty good. Brandon Burris goes to the Milwaukee Bucks at 19 from Arizona. But it's going to be interesting to see what else they do now because like they said, they traded away, but it hasn't had updated trade in this, maybe it has in this mock draft. Golden State Warriors select Adrian Morara from Michigan. Morara was one of the good upcoming stars too in March Madness, so that's pretty good for them. He fits in. Oklahoma City selects Martez Johnson Jr. I mean, anybody from Michigan might be good. And I'm not going to try judge against Sam Presti because Sam Presti knows how to draft for the Oklahoma City Thunder and make Oklahoma City Thunder good. So I think if he drafts that guy, it'll be pretty good and he'll be able to produce him because Oklahoma City knows how to make players good. Milwaukee Bucks, Miami is Juan Lopez from Mexico. No, know anything about him. They're going to keep it real. Charlotte selects Yaxel Lindenbog from Michigan. I mean, I remember him. He looked like he was pretty good in the national championship run for Michigan last year. And Dusty Mays on the Dallas Mavericks. So it's going to be interesting to see what Michigan does in the future. Chicago Bulls select Cameron Carr from Baylor, a sophomore. Carr is expected to come off the board somewhere between number 13 and number 19. We'll see what happens. Number 16, Memphis Grizzlies select Christian Addison from Texas Tech. If this is true. Bennett Stars goes to Oklahoma City as Iowa, and like I said, Sam Presti knows how to make pretty good players, so I trust Sam Presti unless he trades this away to try to get more picks or something in the future. Charlotte Hornets from Atlanta gets Heinz Steinbaum from Washington, a freshman. Toronto Raptors get Ibeke Orca from Stanford. San Antonio Spurs get Dylan Swan from Texas. Detroit Pistons get LeBron Pippen Jr. from Alabama. I mean, he was pretty good too from Alabama. Alan Gritz from Santa Clara. Don't really watch Santa Clara for basketball. Atlanta Hawks select Chris C. Jr. I mean, remember him, Chris C. Jr. He did pretty good against UCF when they played against each other, and I was watching the men's basketball hoops. So he might be a pretty good fit for the Atlanta Hawks. New York Knicks select Travis Reed Jr., guard from UConn. UConn always has good players, so that might be good for them. Lakers select Harry Wise from North Carolina. Denver Nuggets select Malik Thomas from Arkansas, freshman. Boston Celtics select Corey Pete from Arizona, freshman. Pete did not earn a green room invitation, but he had a good deal of interest in the 20s. Concerns around his shooting mechanisms have been a primary. Oh, that might not be good. But I trust Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics management to do good. But we'll see. Some of these drafts aren't right, so we'll see what happens. The Brooklyn Nets select Janice Quantes from Kentucky. Cleveland selects Lewis Evans from Duke. Isaiah Evans, excuse me. Dallas Mavericks select Stiga Digu, some guy from Spain. But we'll see. I think tonight is just the first round of the NBA draft. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think tonight's just the first round, and tomorrow night they finish it up. And then sometimes in the NBA draft, they can trade away players during the draft and trade them away. So we'll talk all about that tomorrow's episode, and recap the draft. But let's see if that guy is right. Trailblazers hire Wolves assistant coach Mike Anor as head coach. Congratulations to Mike Anor becoming the new coach for his Portland Trailblazers, even though nobody goes to the games too. Sources say that Wolves are trading Randall and Nets Claxton off to the Bulls in a three-team trade. But Brooklyn Nets are acquiring three-time All-Star Julius Randle from the Minnesota with a three-part team trade, but also center Nickel Claxton to Chicago Bulls, sources told ESPN Chambers, Shama, or whatever, on Monday night. Randall and the Wolves' number 28 pick on Tuesday in the NBA draft will go to Brooklyn, which will send number 33 pick to Minnesota, sources told ESPN. The Bulls are trading away for Mo Gino. The Timberwolves and part of the deal, sources told ESPN. The deal involves two of the teams, the Brooklyn and Chicago, that had most salary cap space heading into free agency. Randall's $33.3 million salary for the next season is now slated for the Nets, Bucks, and Claxton's $24 million goes to the Bulls. I mean, that's a good trade. We'll see how good that is. That's not a big trade like the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, but that's a decent sized trade, so we'll see how good that is. We'll see how good that is. Yeah, round one says tonight for NBA draft. So that's all the NBA news. Now we're going to go to the NFL news to keep this show on the roll. If I can get there. The NFL will not have a supplementary draft, so that means Dylan Storsby will have to wait off a year and maybe get treatment for his gambling help and be able to come back next year in the NFL draft, I'm pretty sure. No 2026 supplementary draft. Brandon Storsby's NFL path is paused. Quarterback Brandon Storsby will not play in the NFL in 2026 as league has elected not to hold the supplementary draft. The NFL decision came down in the right to decide whether to hold a supplementary draft per the collective bargaining agreement at league offices that they believed it would be ultimately become a distraction to teams as they began training camps. But I think Dylan Storsby can still come in the NBA draft in 2027, so we'll keep my eye on that and see. Sources say Falcons retired Kyle Pitts agrees to a 5-year, $44 million deal. He better get a lot better because Kyle Pitts has been a really bad free fantasy player in the last few years, and has been really a fantasy droppable player and a fantasy crapper for the last few years. I mean, if he can get better, Tua Tagovailoa or Michael Penix Jr., that might be a good deal, but I don't really know how good it is right now because he hasn't really been up to date to show how good he is, in my personal opinion. I'm going to keep it 100 if you guys know, but that's what I think. But congratulations, Kyle Pitts, on getting a 3 year, $54 million deal, but we'll see how good that turns out. Let's hope Kyle Pitts can do better for the Atlanta Hawks, or Falcons, excuse me. They need him. Cop investigates Jets quarterback Geno Smith after Bradley accused it. Uh-oh, that's not good. But that's all the NFL news today. The World Cup is going on pretty strong. Ghana and England tied today in the Men's World Cup. Who would have thought that Ghana in the Men's World Cup would tie with England? England looks like they could be a team to beat. But they tied. I cannot believe they tied. We're going to go back to yesterday's games before we get into Ghana's games because Argentina won 2-0. And like I said yesterday, congratulations to Lionel Messi. Even though he's age 38 or whatever, he looks like he's turning back time and aging backwards because he is one of the best players and has 5 goals already in the World Cup. We haven't even gone to round of 32. We're still in group stages, but he and Argentina have moved on to the round of 32. And they're the defending champs of this Men's World Cup. They look strong and look like they can repeat in the Men's World Cup. I mean, he has the most goals now ever scored in the Men's World Cup. So congratulations to Lionel Messi. I can't believe my friend Workson was at the game yesterday, but congratulations to Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi has now set the record for the most goals ever. It was nice to see on TV Lionel Messi score. I mean, Lionel Messi almost had a hat trick twice. He missed 2 penalty kicks yesterday, but only had 2 goals. He's one of the best players. No wonder why they keep feeding him and keep getting him goals. But 5 goals already, that's crazy. I mean, he could even get the golden boot if they win the whole thing this year. He looks like he's one of the best players in all the Men's World Cup. I mean, I know the United States is looking pretty good. USA! USA! I know the United States is looking pretty good, but that's nice to him. Lionel Messi set the World Cup record with his 17th and 18th goals after defending champs. That's all she wrote.
And what bundling groceries could be quite the hat.
Lionel Messi set a World Cup record with his 17th and 18th goals as defending champs Argentina advanced to the knockout stage a 2-0 victory over Austria on Monday. That's all she wrote. And now it's history. Making Knight the greatest of all time, Lionel Messi. I mean, he is the greatest of all time. He is the go to soccer. You can't deny that. And the good thing came to Miami to help Miami and their FC do pretty good. As he steers Argentina to the last with Braves a 2-0 win over Austria. It did not start too well for Messi, who placed a 9th minute penalty wide, but dusted himself off and slid home for an opener after a wonderful team move to 38 minute. The second half was truly a little dark, but Messi drilled his 2nd of the game and 5th of the tournament from 2 goals deep into the injury time to seal the win. But that's nice to see Lionel Messi have the most goals now. Congratulations, Lionel Messi. He's only going to keep it getting higher, so it's going to be interesting to see how high he can get it to go and if it can ever be broken again. I mean, I don't know if that guy who made it 4 years ago on a date, when it broke yesterday, would ever think it could be broken again, but we'll see. But congratulations to Argentina moving on and Lionel Messi. Norway has won. Norway clinched the knockout and won 3-2 over Senegal. Senegal almost came back and tied it at the end. We loved watching that game, but Norway kept it on. Algeria came from behind and beat Jordan. Jordan now was 0-2. And Algeria is 1-0, looking to keep their hopes alive for a round of 32 matchup against one of the other countries. It's going to be interesting to see. But like I said earlier, it's nice to see all these people. Like yesterday, I saw all the Scotland people going to Miami Mars game and having a fun time and drinking and having a fun time. It's nice to see them doing stuff. And I also see all these Italian people, all these foreigner people, English or whatever, any kind of foreign people go into Walmart and seeing how different it is. They're like, oh look, they got a lot of different cereal, and oh look, they got all this different stuff, and they're all amazed by it. And they even go into Buc-ee's to see what a gas station, the differences between gas stations. It's interesting to see all these videos on TikTok or on other apps to see the comparisons and see what they like. A lot of people are starting to like ranch dressing, I think, and trying to bring back ranch dressing to countries. But it's nice to see them have a civil and nice thing and not start any fights and act like clowns and have a nice time in America and really enjoy themselves over here. I'm really glad that the World Cup is here and hope the World Cup comes back one day to the United States of America, but hope they're all still having fun, keep having a blast. Life goes on and on and on. England, tired of Ghana. 0-0. That's surprising. England looked like one of the top teams. Portugal won 5-0. Ronaldo at the double. Portugal as well with a 5-0. That was even close. Colombia, I think they won tonight against Congo DR. I think Panama beats Costa Rica tonight. But we'll see. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, more about the World Cup, more about people celebrating for the World Cup. I'm so excited to see these foreigners having a blast and a good old time. But we'll see. But let's hope the foreigners can keep up doing good and keep on looking good. I mean, I know they're enjoying themselves in America, so that's nice to see on the news and other stuff. Night of Champions is Saturday at 1 p.m. Gotta be watching that Saturday. The Pirates are looking right back after, like I said, a devastating series against the Colorado Rockies. They're looking to bounce back against the Seattle Mariners tonight. It's already 0-0 with one at play by. Derby Kelly's pitching tonight and Mitch Keller pitching. Mitch Keller needs to have a lot better of a game. Mitch Keller has not looked good at all this year. It needs to look a lot better for the Pirates. Let's hope Mitch Keller can have a good night and the Pirates can bounce back and beat Seattle Mariners. But it's going to be tough. But let's hope the Pirates can bounce back and look good. I think the Pirates will win tonight against the Seattle Mariners. I think they'll win big tonight, but we'll see. We'll talk more about that tomorrow's episode, and recap that. But I think they're going to do good. I read something today that Connor Griffin is starting a rehab assignment, which is good. Because we need Connor Griffin back, and we need Connor Griffin back sooner rather than later. Because we need our all-star shortstop back and not have Jared Triola in our shortstop spot. We need Mitch Keller back, and we need him back. The Pirates are now 39-39 overall and 2019 at home. Let's hope they can be 21-28. Mariners are 40-39, so they're about the same record, and 18-20 away, so about the same record that too. So it's going to be interesting to see, but Cowboys pitching tonight. Mitch Keller pitching for the Pirates. Let's hope Mitch Keller can do good. He's already gave up one hit, but luckily nothing to come out of that. But we'll see. I think the Yankees beat the Tigers. I think the Rays beat the Royals, excuse me. I think the Cubs beat the Mets. I think the Indians beat the White Sox. I think the Dodgers beat the Twins. I think the Red Sox beat the Rockies. I think the Marlins beat the Rangers, excuse me. I think the Nationals beat the Phillies. I think the Brewers beat the Reds. And I think the Diamondbacks beat the Cardinals. I think the Orioles beat the Angels. And I think the Braves beat the Padres. I think the Athletics beat the Giants. But those are your sports for today. If there's any more NBA news, we'll talk about that tomorrow's episode. But I haven't seen anything flash up for NBA. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow and talk about my recap of the NBA draft. We'll talk about other sports too happening on in the world and happening on. But thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. If you have any comments, any concerns, anything, please leave them down below in the comments and please like and share. But thank you, Stachers, for watching another episode of Stache Sports. This is Stache Sports signing off.